She didn't think twice before helping a stranger. But the reaction she got left everyone speechless. The rain was relentless that evening, drumming against the windows of the small, cozy restaurant where Emma had ducked in to escape the storm. She was drenched, her umbrella collapsed at her feet, and the weight of exhaustion clung to her like a heavy coat. Life had been unkind lately. Her father's illness, mounting bills, and the sudden loss of her job had left her spirit frayed and fragile. She found herself seated in a corner, barely noticing the soft hum of conversations around her, the clinking of cutlery, and the aroma of roasted chicken and fresh bread. All she could think about was how she would get through this night and the next. If you believe in kindness and second chances, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel, because this story is about exactly that. Emma's eyes wandered across the restaurant until they fell on an elderly man sitting alone at the table across from her. He seemed fragile, his hands trembling as he tried to unwrap a napkin, and there was a sadness in his eyes that mirrored her own. He looked like someone who had carried too many burdens in life and had nowhere to rest. Emma felt an inexplicable tug at her heart, the kind that pushes you to act even when you're running on empty yourself. She didn't hesitate. Gathering her courage, she walked over and offered the man a warm smile. "Would you like me to help you with your order?" she asked softly. The man looked up, startled, as if no one had addressed him so kindly in months. His lips quivered in a small, hesitant smile, and he nodded. Emma stayed with him, helping him choose a meal, chatting gently as she did. She learned that his name was Henry, and he had recently lost his wife. The loneliness in his voice was palpable, a hollow echo that resonated with the emptiness she had been feeling in her own life. She sat with him until his meal arrived, sharing bits of conversation, offering small reassurances, and listening with a patience she didn't even know she had. That simple act of presence, that small kindness, seemed to lift a weight off both their shoulders. Little did Emma know, her gesture had not gone unnoticed. The restaurant's manager, a stern man with a reputation for being unapproachable, had watched the interaction from across the room. He saw how Emma had bridged the invisible walls of loneliness and despair, turning an ordinary evening into something extraordinary. Later he would call her to his office, but at that moment, Emma had no idea the ripple she had created. Days passed, and Emma returned to the restaurant out of habit. She didn't know why, but the place had become a sanctuary of sorts, a spot where her heart felt lighter, and hope seemed slightly less elusive. On one rainy evening, much like the first, she arrived to find Henry waiting for her. There was a glint in his eye, a spark that had been missing before. He thanked her again, but this time, his words carried more than gratitude. They carried the weight of a life subtly shifted by her presence. Emma's own struggles had not magically vanished. Bills were still pressing, and her father's health was precarious. But in those moments, she realized that even a single act of kindness had the power to ignite something bigger than herself. She began volunteering her time more intentionally, helping people she met in small, often unnoticed ways. She bought groceries for elderly neighbors, tutored children at the local library, and never missed a chance to lend a hand to someone burdened by life's unexpected blows. Each act was a reminder that no matter how heavy her own heart felt, she could still contribute light to someone else's world. Then, one evening, the unbelievable happened. The restaurant hosted a local charity event, and Emma attended, not knowing that Henry had recommended her for something she never could have imagined. During the event, the manager announced a special recognition for someone who had made a remarkable difference in the community. When Emma's name was called, she froze. The applause was overwhelming, and Henry's tear-filled eyes met hers from across the room. He had shared her story, how she had helped him when he felt invisible, how she had continued to bring kindness into the lives of others despite her own struggles. Emma's heart raced. She walked to the front, humbled and speechless, feeling the warmth of the room wrap around her. It wasn't just recognition, it was validation, a reminder that the smallest gestures could cascade into something life-changing. She realized then that every moment of empathy, every act of generosity, no matter how small it seemed at the time, had a power she could not have imagined. The story did not end there. News outlets picked up the tale, celebrating Emma as a local hero. People began sharing her acts of kindness, and donations poured into causes she cared about. Her father's treatment became more manageable, helped by the generosity inspired by her compassion. Henry found companionship once more, encouraged by Emma's presence and now an active member of the community she had unknowingly built around him. Emma's life, once filled with struggle and uncertainty, transformed into a tapestry of connection, hope, and profound human resilience. Emma's journey was a testament to the truth that the universe often returns the love and kindness we offer, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. One simple gesture, a decision to reach out to a lonely man in a restaurant, had rippled outward, touching countless lives. She had learned that the act of giving, of caring without expecting, could unravel despair and weave together threads of hope and humanity. Now, as Emma sat at her favorite corner table, sipping coffee and watching the rain fall softly outside, she reflected on how far she had come. The storm had passed, but the memory of that first tentative act of kindness remained vivid. It reminded her that the power of empathy is limitless, that the smallest spark can ignite a light that spreads farther than one can ever imagine. She smiled, not out of relief alone, but out of gratitude, for the chance to witness and participate in something greater than herself. Before we conclude this story, I want you, dear viewer, to take a moment and comment below about someone who made a difference in your life with a simple act of kindness. Share your story, because it may inspire others just like Emma's story inspired this community. Remember, every act of kindness matters. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that compassion can change lives. Subscribe to the channel to continue exploring stories that celebrate the extraordinary impact of ordinary humans. In the end, Emma understood what many spend a lifetime searching for, that love, empathy, and generosity are never wasted. A single gesture, offered without expectation, has the power to transform despair into hope, loneliness into community, and quiet moments into unforgettable life-changing experiences. One rainy evening, in a small restaurant, her world changed, and in turn, she changed the world for others. And all it took was one kind gesture.